Have you ever been in a conversation in English where someone said something you completely disagreed with and you had no idea what to say? So you either stayed silent or you said, "No, that's wrong," and immediately felt like you'd been too harsh?
Or the opposite. You said, yes, yes, interesting point, and agreed with something you didn't believe at all, just to avoid conflict.
Both of those happen all the time, and today we're going to fix it.
Welcome back to FluentRoom. I'm Lily.
And I'm John. Today's episode is about one of the most useful and most difficult communication skills in any language: how to disagree politely in English, without being rude, without being too soft.
Let's get into it.
Lily, why do you think so many learners struggle with this specific skill?
I think there are two reasons. The first is vocabulary. Most learners know how to agree. Yes, I think so too. Exactly. But when it comes to disagreeing, they only know very direct phrases like, no, I don't think so, or you're wrong. And those can sound quite blunt.
And blunt means very direct and straightforward, sometimes to the point of being rude, without caring about the other person's feelings. In English, especially British English, being too blunt is considered impolite.
The second reason is cultural. In many languages, disagreement is very direct, and that's completely normal. But in English conversation, particularly in professional or social situations, there's a strong preference for what we call diplomatic language.
Diplomatic means careful and sensitive in the way you communicate, choosing words that get your point across without causing offense or conflict. And conflict means a serious disagreement or argument between people.
So the goal today is to find the middle ground, language that is honest and clear, but also respectful and kind.
Not aggressive, not passive. And passive here means too quiet, going along with things you don't agree with just to avoid tension. Not passive either. Assertive.
Assertive is the key word. Assertive means confident and clear about what you think or want, while still being respectful of others. It's the perfect middle point between aggressive and passive.
Assertive is what we're going for today.
Let's get practical. Here are the real phrases native English speakers use to disagree politely, and why they work.
The first and most important tool is what we call a softener. A softener is a word or phrase you put before a disagreement to reduce its sharpness and make it sound less harsh. Classic softeners are, "I see what you mean, but..." That's a fair point, however. "I understand where you're coming from, but..."
Notice the structure. You start by acknowledging the other person's point. To acknowledge means to show that you have heard and understood what someone said, even if you don't agree with it. Then you introduce your disagreement after the but, or however.
This is powerful because the other person feels heard. They feel respected, and that makes them much more open to listening to your point.
Second tool, hedging language. Hedging means using language that makes your statement sound less absolute, less certain, softer. Phrases like, I'm not sure I agree. I'm not entirely convinced. I'd argue that. I tend to think.
Compare these two sentences. "That idea is wrong," versus, "I'm not entirely convinced that's the right approach." Same disagreement. Completely different impact.
The second one invites a conversation. The first one closes it.
Third tool, the question technique. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," you ask a question that gently challenges the other person's idea. Do you think that always applies? Have you considered the other side? What about cases where...
Questions are incredibly powerful because they don't sound like an attack. They sound like curiosity. Curiosity means genuine interest in understanding something. And when you sound curious, people become less defensive.
Defensive means reacting to disagreement by protecting your position strongly, often emotionally because you feel attacked. When people feel attacked, they stop listening. When they feel questioned with curiosity, they think.
Fourth, conceding a point. To concede means to admit that part of what the other person said is true or valid, even while you still disagree overall. Phrases like, You make a good point about X, although I still think Y. I agree with you up to a point, but that's true to some extent, however.
Conceding is actually a sign of confidence, not weakness. It shows you've really listened, you're being fair, and your remaining disagreement is genuine, not just stubbornness.
Stubbornness means refusing to change your opinion, even when you have no good reason, just because you don't want to be wrong. Very different from a principled, thoughtful disagreement.
Let's put these tools into real situations. Lily, give me a statement. Something I might disagree with.
Okay, I think working from home is always more productive than working in an office.
All right. Version 1, blunt and unhelpful. No, that's not true. Offices are better.
Conversation over.
Version 2, polite and assertive. I see what you mean. There are definitely fewer distractions at home for some people. Distractions are things that take your attention away from what you should be focusing on. But I'd argue that for a lot of people, the collaboration you get in an office, collaboration means working together with others toward a shared goal, is really hard to replicate at home. To replicate means to copy or reproduce something exactly. So I think it really depends on the person and the job.
Perfect. You disagreed. You gave a reason. You left space for nuance. And you didn't make me feel stupid for having a different opinion.
That's the goal every time.
Let's do one more. Social media is destroying young people's mental health.
That's a fair point. There's definitely research showing a correlation between heavy social media use and anxiety. Correlation means a connection between two things where one tends to happen alongside the other, but I'm not entirely convinced it's the whole picture. A lot depends on how you use it. I'd argue that social media can also build community and provide support for people who feel isolated.
Beautiful. Acknowledged the point. Used evidence. Disagreed with nuance. Assertive, not aggressive.
And notice, no personal criticism. Criticism means expressing disapproval of someone or something. We criticize the idea, not the person. That distinction is everything.
Before the vocab roundup, one golden rule that ties everything together.
Go ahead.
Disagree with the idea, never with the person. The moment your disagreement feels personal, you always say things like that, / that's a typical thing to say. You've left the conversation and entered a conflict.
Keep it about the topic. Keep it about the argument. Use phrases like, I think the issue with that idea is, rather than, I think you are wrong because...
The first targets the idea. The second targets the human. One opens dialogue. Dialogue means an exchange of ideas between people. One closes it.
And the best disagreements, the ones that actually go somewhere, always feel like a collaboration, not a competition.
Two people trying to find the truth together, not two people trying to win.
Time for the FluentRoom vocab roundup. The most important words from today. Let's lock them in.
Blunt, very direct, sometimes to the point of being rude without softening your words. Saying you're wrong is too blunt. It shuts the conversation down immediately.
Diplomatic, careful and sensitive in communication, choosing words that avoid causing offense. A diplomatic response acknowledges the other person before introducing a disagreement.
Assertive, confident, and clear about what you think, while remaining respectful of others. Being assertive means you say what you think, but you say it kindly.
Softener. A word or phrase placed before a disagreement to make it sound less harsh. Phrases like, I see what you mean, but are classic softeners.
Acknowledge. To show you have heard and understood someone, even if you disagree. Always acknowledge the other person's point before you challenge it.
Hedging. Using language that makes a statement sound less absolute or certain. I'm not entirely convinced is a great example of hedging language.
Defensive. reacting to disagreement by strongly protecting your position, often emotionally. People become defensive when they feel attacked rather than questioned.
Concede, to admit that part of what someone said is valid, even while disagreeing overall. Conceding a point shows you've listened. It's a sign of confidence, not weakness.
Stubbornness, refusing to change your opinion even when you have no good reason to hold it. There's a difference between a principled position and pure stubbornness.
Curiosity, genuine interest in understanding something or someone. Asking questions with curiosity sounds much better than making direct challenges.
Collaboration, working or thinking together toward a shared goal. The best disagreements feel like a collaboration, two people finding the truth together.
Replicate, to copy or reproduce something exactly. The energy of an office is very hard to replicate at home.
Correlation, a connection between two things where one tends to happen alongside the other. There's a correlation between sleep deprivation and poor decision-making.
Criticism, expressing disapproval of someone or something. Direct personal criticism closes conversations. Keep it about the idea, not the person.
And the last one, dialogue, an open exchange of ideas between two or more people. Real dialogue only happens when both people feel safe to speak and disagree.
15 words and 15 tools for every conversation you'll ever have in English.
Your challenge this week, write in the comments. What is something people often say that you disagree with? Practice your polite disagreement using at least 3 phrases or words from today's episode.
We read every comment. Thank you for being here at FluentRoom.
See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.